How's everybody doing? Hey, Karen Bell. You're always one of the first ones here. I appreciate it. Sharon Hardiman, Kelton Norman, Joyce Walton Stallings, Jillian Maynard, Wanda Brown, Lucinda Moore, Monique Palmer, Ruth Longsworth, the sharpness of the light, I can't fix it. Christy Ware, Camille Jones, Marcella Jones, Boo Boo, Boo Boo Jeffries is in the house, Samantha Leach, Gregory White, Cheryl Cross Tucker, hello everybody, Tanya Cobb, hello everybody, Carolyn Jones Jameson, good to see you. Monique Dawn Henley, Dion Williams Holland, Tamika Washington Rush, Renee Dunbar from Arkansas, Lynn Johnson, Denise Famu Mom, FAMU Mom Thomas, Perdita Brown is here, Melinda Williams, Latrice Renee. Listen, I appreciate you guys signing in, and you're signing in quite quickly. If you could hit that share button for me, I'd appreciate you very, very much. Thank you, Maurice Scott and Melita Parham, Latrice Renee, Samantha Leach, Sharon Jones. Hey, Sharon. Diane Alexander from New Orleans in the house. Bobby Burwell is here. Michael Mathis. Appreciate everybody being here. Listen, we're going to do some video comments at the end of this tonight. I want y'all to join in on the conversation. I'm going to add some of y'all, so if you need to put on a lipstick or sit in your house in some sunglasses, I want you to do that for me. I'm still trying to adjust the sharpness of the light. It's extra bright tonight. Sometimes if I move it, it'll adjust. Not sure why it's doing that, but we're going to make it work. Michael Young, Shanora Lynn Adams, Camilla Smith, Carla Martinez, Gwendolyn Campbell, Linda McCreary, Vicky Clark is in the house. Yeah, so listen, don't forget, we're going to do Ask John at the end. Add some of you guys. Maybe if I move over here. Oh, that worked. That did it for a minute. I don't know. Y'all just going to have to take me light bright tonight. So, yeah. Felicia Carroll, Foxy Andrea Alston, April Washington, Arnetta Session. All right. We got a great number here so far. Good place to start. Again, if it's your first time here, if you're just signing in, please hit the share button for me. It would make a man very happy. Let folks know we're here having good conversation. You know, talk about some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So hit that share button for me. And you guys know it sends me an alert right there at the bottom. So I can see the amount of people here. And so when you don't hit the share button, I know it. So hit it for me, please. Appreciate you. I'm home. I'm in D.C. Anytime you see me here and my star is on the wall, I'm home in D.C. We had the most amazing weather today. It was like 70, almost 75 degrees. So I'm loving life because that's what I like. I like my springtime, summertime weather. Virginia Durham is here from Boston. I wonder what the weather is in Detroit. In Boston tonight. I see somebody's here from Detroit. Angie Moore is here. Tamika Irving Zeno. So yeah, so hit that share button for me. I appreciate you. And if you're watching this broadcast on delay, because like for the folks whose name I'm calling out, we're really live. But some of you guys watch this on delay, and then you write comments and say, well, why didn't you call my name out? Well, if you watch it outside of its live time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern this week on Tuesday, then I can't call your name out because I'm not live. Technology just doesn't work like that yet. So, but I thank you for watching it on delay as well. You can also continue to share and you know, try to catch one of the live shows, and you'll be in the mix. So, all right, let's talk about some things. The Black Panther numbers came in. Woo! $248 million for the 4-day weekend. It was not, I mean, it had great projections, but it has exceeded all projections. So, Wakanda Forever. I should have worn my African stuff tonight. I'm mad that I didn't think about that earlier. It's been a crazy day. But Wakanda Forever. I'm very happy, very proud of Black Panther. It's great that this movie is doing so well. Hollywood is an industry that's all about trends and fads. You know, when one thing works, they duplicate it. And so, you know, diversity has been really big in Hollywood for a significant amount of time. But now that we are breaking box office records, Hollywood's going to try to do it again. So I pray that they do it with great projects and with great actors, and other people can benefit from the impact of Black Panther. But in addition to the movies doing well, I need the residual effect to do well. Like Black Panther was a film that had a predominantly cast of color, was written, produced, directed by people of color. But sometimes there are black media professionals in LA who are not given the access to these projects. And so that's got to change. So I'm working with a group now in LA that's going to start addressing some of that stuff. And it's going to be one of the next movements, you know. Even when you have a project like Black Panther, a lot of the times the marketing and the public relations team, which are the people that go out and promote these projects, they don't look like us. They're not people of color. They don't understand our community, and some of them bring on smaller boutique firms to assist their efforts, but they only like give them a marginal amount of work to do. You know, it's just still, there's some challenges right now still in Hollywood. So while the actors and some of the directors and the producers are benefiting, the media world, the PR world, the marketing world, they're not always benefiting. And so we've got to change some of that. Definitely do. So congratulations again, Black Panther. I'm enjoying watching everything about it. And speaking of black, yesterday, a personal sex tape of I guess she's a reality, she's a social media star turned reality star turned ex-girlfriend and baby mama of Rob Kardashian, Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna had a sex tape that hit the net, and because I knew I was doing this show today, you know, I may have looked at the show for research purposes. Looked at the tape for research purposes to see what the hoopla was all about. And yeah, just because somebody's got a big social media following and has become popular, and I'm trying my best to clean this up and make it a smarter conversation. But just because somebody is hot in their image, don't mean they hot when you get them home. That's all I'll say about that. You know, nobody should have their private photos, their sex tapes. None of that stuff should ever be leaked without your permission. If you decide that you want to be in that line of work, then go do a deal with Vivid Entertainment or somebody like that and make money like Kim Kardashian did. Kim Kardashian's sex tape was not leaked. That was an orchestrated deal. Paris Hilton's sex tape was not leaked. That was an orchestrated deal. Pamela Anderson's sex tape was not leaked. When your sex tape is leaked, you do what Hulk Hogan did, the racist Hulk Hogan. You go and you sue the website or the company that puts the tape out, and you win. Hulk Hogan shut down the website Gawker, who put out his sex tape, because they had no right to be able to do that. So when you hear these celebrities say my sex tape was leaked, no, you don't sign a release form for something that's leaked. That's something that you did a deal for. So just factual and actual. And so, but I don't think revenge porn and revenge photos and all that stuff is just a good thing. I don't think, you know, I think it's unfortunate when that happens to people. So, sorry that happened to her in general. But also sorry that the world got to see that her talent may not lie in her private time, you know? Did I make that clean enough? Is that PG enough? Because you know my mama watches these, so I had to make that appropriate. You know what I'm saying? Now while y'all can keep that Blac Chyna tape, there's one video I cannot get enough of. There's one video I'm doing better because I've only watched it 7 times today. But on Sunday I watched it 55 times. On Monday, I watched it about 21 times. I'm down to about 7 times today. And that is Fergie singing the national anthem at the NBA All-Star Game. Can I tell you, that performance brought me so much joy. It just... I just get happy when I think about it. You know, maybe I should play it right now because it just does something to me. And while I'm queuing Fergie up, can I tell you something that doesn't bring me any joy? It actually really depresses me. Sade is about to put out a new song. I think every psychologist, psychiatrist, or counselor that deals with depression should be on notice because Sade puts out music for depressed people. I don't know why anybody wants to listen to that. If you ever came to my house and heard Sade playing, go straight to the bathroom, open up the shower curtain, I've probably hung myself from the shower rod. That is the only reason why I'd be playing any Sade music in my house. It is music for depressed people. You know, A Wrinkle in Time is a Disney movie. Like, it's supposed to be about happiness. And Sade, I got to schedule a therapy session just thinking about Sade putting a new song out. But a song that does not depress me, that actually makes me very, 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 very happy, is Fergie's version of the national anthem. She just brings me so much joy. Sing, Fergie. Sing it, Fergie. NBA basketball. That I said I was gonna make it through it this time without laughing, but I enjoy it so much. That video has brought me so. I mean, between her singing, Draymond Green getting caught on camera, Steph Curry, Chance the Rapper, it's blessed me. It's good stuff. So I know Fergie's put out an apology. She said, she took a risk. It didn't translate. But, that was her Marilyn Monroe meets Marvin Gaye. And, she wanted to be epic. And she sure enough was. Woo! Fergie. Lord have mercy. So, they were... when I talk about it, I get full. I feel like Whitney used to say, I get full. No, but, so today they talked about it on the Wendy Williams show, and, I'm going to maybe blame it on the fact that Wendy might be still fluish. She said she was fluish last week when she canceled those shows. But she was talking about singers who have to use autotune to sing, and she mentioned, like Sierra and Jennifer Lopez. But in the mix of the singers that she said need autotune, she said Beyonce. Now, Wendy Williams, is not a singer by her own admission. She did Chicago on Broadway. She played Mama Matron Morton, and she kind of like talked through the song. But she's not a singer. She'll tell you that. So I don't know if she's a little tone deaf. I don't know if she knows what good vocals is, because she also thinks that Mariah Carey is still a great vocalist. What she says, she's like a two-tissue artist or something. The only reason I need a tissue when Mariah Carey sings is because I can't take the notes anymore. They're just not good. But Beyonce is not an auto-tune artist. If Beyonce wanted to, Beyonce's put on a dress and some high heels with a microphone in the spotlight and sing flat-footed. Like, Beyonce's that girl. Like, the showmanship of Beyonce, I think sometimes distracts people from the idea that she's actually a pure vocalist, that she actually is a real singer, that she, remember she used to do those fast Houston runs? Remember she used to do those? And then, she would get in a run and Beyonce used to do these runs and would come out of it and be but yeah, she's not a autotune artist, Wendy. Love you, but you got that one wrong, baby girl. The free. Oh, Fergie. I love you so much, Fergie. I want Fergie to sing that at every game. Football, baseball, WWE, soccer, tennis, badminton, Marco Polo, kickball, dodgeball, hide and go seek. I don't care what the sport is. Fergie should sing her version of the national anthem everywhere. Fergie is my favorite. I've downloaded the video, turned it into an MP3. Excuse me. I need to figure out how to make it a ringtone for my iPhone. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So thanks, Fergie. The Gap is having financial problems. So, The Gap, the president CEO of The Gap stepped down. Stocks have dropped. Their money is down. I used to stay in Gap. Like, in high school, I was kind of like, I used to call myself a white boy. Just like my energy, not because, I've always been woke. I was raised in hell. I had a teacher named Mr. Geist, and I was in this thing called the Gifted and Talented program, and he hated because I always had questions. I was always bucking the systems. Who would have thought that me talking so much would have made a living for me? But I remember he said to me, maybe you should go join the Gifted and Talented program. I raised so much hell, he had to send me a written apology. That's how rambunctious I was in high school. But I kind of, in high school, I felt like I was like Murray from the movie Clueless, who was played by Donald Faison. And so I used to live in the Gap. My whole wardrobe was Gap. khaki pads, Gap polos, Gap t-shirts, Gap denim. I love the Gap. So I'm sorry to hear that the Gap is having problems, but the Gap, you know, they gotta update that look a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Gotta change it up. Latrice Renee say Fergie was just as bad as Carl Lewis. I don't think Fergie was bad. Fergie brought me joy. Fergie was great. I love Fergie. I want Fergie to sing it everywhere. That was her Marilyn Monroe meets Marvin Gaye performance at NBA All-Star Weekend. Tavis Smiley suing PBS. He said they fired him for unjust sexual harassment investigation. Let's see how that works out for him. Yeah. So, those are some of the things I wanted to talk to y'all about. Oh, real quick before I forget, I'm not going to eat them while I'm talking to y'all, but I have found my favorite new snack. Have y'all tried this? Boom Chicka Pop, sweet and salty kettle corn. It's by a company called Angie's. When I tell you, this stuff is so good, and it's light, and it's healthy for you. Whole grain energy, 70 calories per cup, non-GMO, gluten-free, and they're light. And let's see, what's the sodium? Oh, the sodium is 110 milligrams. Is that a lot of sodium? I'll have to ask Sherry Shepherd. Good. When I say they're good, they are good. Also, got a package from the Elevation Church. They got a new project out. It features Tasha Cobbs, Travis Green, Kiara Shear, Ty Tribbett, Chris Brown, and Israel Houghton. That should be something. Israel has another song. A young lady named Sharetta Ivy, and the Walls Group. So apparently there's songs from the Elevation Church. Their pastor there, Stephen Furtick. They have this out, so sent me a nice little note from the Elevation Collective, and got a t-shirt in here. Oh, it's a large too. See if it'll fit. Okay, it's a nice t-shirt. Hey. Alright, so yeah, thanks to the Elevation Church for sending me the music. Alright. I got a big moderating gig too in April that I'll announce it later. But alright, let's do Ask Jawn. You asked me some questions. Hey Ty Cobb. I'll give you some answers. And so this is how we do this. Questions are who, what, when, where, and why. I need you to ask me a full question. I would prefer a question mark at the end. I don't do lowbrow, gossipy stuff. Let's keep this smarter conversation. But ask me a question. I'll try my best to answer it if I know what you're talking about. And then let's do some video chat. If you got some folks that want to join in and have conversation with me tonight, I'm going to add you to the conversation. So, if you want to, you could put the hand, the raising the hand emoji, the waving emoji, and let me know that you'd be willing to have a video conversation, and we could chat a little bit. All right, so ask me your questions, and I'll try my best to give you some answers. And I appreciate everybody who's here tonight. If you're joining us late, hit the share button. Let folks know we're still here. We're still having conversation. Erica Brown says she gets her popcorn, her Angie's popcorn from Target. Yeah, I really love it, you know. You think Black Panther has a chance at an Oscar? It was very beautiful. Had beautiful cinematography and an amazing complex storyline. Yeah, I think it'll definitely be nominated in some of the categories. I don't know how it would fare overall, maybe for Best Picture or not. But because those type of movies don't usually get nominated for Oscars. You don't see a lot of the current Star Wars or sci-fi films get nominated. But for like wardrobe and maybe some of the technology aspects and stuff. They definitely might get nominated for those categories. Vicky Clark said, "Why am I so fine?" Because the Lord blessed me. I don't know how to answer that question, but thank you, Vicky. I'm flattered. Love you. Lynn Johnson said, "How many times have I seen Black Panther?" So far, just once. And Crystal Renee Jones asked the same question. Sinead Cherry said, "What do I think about Michael B. Jordan's character? That was a new type of role for him." I loved it. I thought he stole the movie. I thought him as the villain was engaging and charismatic, and I just enjoyed, I enjoyed what he brought to the role. He was great. Nicole Turner asked me what do I think about the curling drug scandal. I'm not into the Winter Olympics at all. Last week, I wore my Summer Olympics t-shirt because I went to the 2016 Olympics in Rio, but I'm not into the Winter Olympics at all. So I've seen pieces of it on the news, but I kind of zone out when they're talking about it. What are my thoughts on the school kids having to fight for themselves since Congress doesn't? I think it's great. I think it's great that the kids are taking a stance and they're rising up. This is a wonderful thing. Sarah Suggs says, "Why hasn't Harold Ford been back on NBC since he was cleared of the sexual harassment charges?" That'd be a question you'd have to ask either Harold Ford or MSNBC. I don't have an answer for you there. What are my thoughts about the shut up and dribble comments? I thought LeBron James and the other athletes responded to Laura Ingraham exceptionally well. And why do we expect anything more from Fox News? This is what they do. This is who they are. So, of course, they would say something like that. She's a bigot who wanted some attention. She got some. Have I seen the guy on the phone trying to make a reservation to Wakanda? No, I have not seen that. Do I think Michael B. Jordan and Lupita are dating? I don't know. I've seen stories. I would guess that they aren't, and they're just playing off the emotions of the public, but who knows? Hey, Jamil Green, good to see you. Is the Martin reboot just a one-show deal or a multi-show thing? Do you think they should leave it alone? Dana Lynn Arrington Green asks. No, it looks like they're going to do a series, and I think it could be done well. We talked about this a few weeks ago. I said, the first episode, they started, at the funeral for Tommy, and build off of that, and because they're older and they can't do a lot of the younger characters and some of the things that they should do before in the show, they'll hire some of the young actors and young comics to come in for some of the other roles. But yeah, it should be great. I'm looking forward to it. Camille Jones says, "You've been in business a long time. Is there anything you see that changed that you aren't a fan of?" There are lots of things that I'm not a fan of about this. About the new business. It's about to go off. No, there's a couple things I'm definitely not a fan of. One of the things I don't like is that there's this culture where there are a lot of people who have journalism platforms, but they're not journalists. And so they don't understand the fundamentals of writing a story, researching a story, being factual and actual and accurate. A lot of times they just want to they aggregate. That's a word that is used in the business. They if you see a story somewhere else, you take and lift the story, change it a little bit, and then post it somewhere. So I don't like that. There's no journalistic integrity. In the business, even as an entertainment, when I was doing full-time entertainment news writing, before I would run a story on AOL or EUR or even at alwaysalist.com, I'd have to reach out to a publicist for a comment or a statement, or I'd have to fact check to make sure what I was writing was legitimate before I just would post it online. And this new crop of bloggers and people without a journalism background but get hired to write for journalism platforms have done a lot of that. And the reason why I'm particularly annoyed by that is because there's a lot of people who were picking up and writing stories about me based on something a former Hollywood star was posting on her Instagram page, and zero, not one legitimate news outlet. I'm talking places like The Root, Atlanta Black Star, Hello Beautiful, all these legitimate sites, in addition to all the arbitrary blogs, the gossip social media pages, and all that stuff. Not one person emailed me for a comment. Not one person emailed the publicist that I work with for a comment. Nobody reached out to find out what, if anything, that the former Hollywood star was accurate or not. So a lot of things were attributed to me in a story that wasn't even true because people didn't do their homework. What are my thoughts on Tyler Perry stating that Black Panther was filmed at his studio and people saying he's trying to get some of the shine? I don't care what people say, boo-boo. They shot it at his studio. He should celebrate the fact that the movie was done there. You know, if a movie was shot at your house, wouldn't you want to tell the people that they was there? You know. Perdita Brown wants to know what I think about Omarosa's wardrobe malfunction. All right, so for people who don't know the story, Omarosa was, you know, she's on Celebrity Big Brother, which I'm watching Celebrity Big Brother. I've never watched Big Brother before. I'm learning because I didn't really know like the format of the show or the game or any of that stuff. But I'm really into it. Like I'm all in. The athlete formerly known as Ron Artest, who's now known as Meta World Peace. Like, I'm looking forward to meeting him in person because he was so freaking funny on this show. But one night on the show, Omarosa had on a silk robe, and she was walking through the kitchen, and she went and turned, and as she turned, her boobie came out. And she quickly tucked it back in and kept it moving. So, you know, I don't necessarily have a thought on it. It just was, boobie came out of a robe. Arnetta Session must have just signed on because she asked me what are the thoughts on the LeBron dribble insult, and we just talked about that. Yvette Max says she's here for the first time live. I appreciate it. Are you waving at me, or are you saying you wouldn't mind joining the video conversation with me tonight? What do I think about the preparation of retailers with Black Panther merchandise? In my area, retailers are telling me we only ordered one. Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about that. Jamila Marshall said, I've been asked to do more hosting and moderating opportunities in my small area. Yikes. Do you have any advice for me? Do a great job. Enjoy yourself. Will me ever do any acting or television shows? No, I'm not interested in being an actor at all. I really enjoy being myself. So that's why I only do TV hosting and commentary. And I really want to, that's all I ever want to do. I don't really want to do any acting. Catrice said, great questions for people tonight. People are actually asking them in questions for, I know, can I give everybody a hand for good questions tonight? Thank you. It's all about smart conversation. Erica Brown said, your skin always looks amazing. What products do you use? I use a couple things. I use like a St. Ives scrub. And right now I'm using, L'Oreal has a product for men that has charcoal in it. I've been using that. And then I have to switch stuff up though because my skin gets, it gets familiar with a product and then it just doesn't work. Tish Gaines says, congratulations on my new role. Well, I don't have I think you mean signing with my new talent agency, Gersh. Yes. Yeah, I just signed with a new agency, and we'll see what happens. You know, some cool things in the horizon. You know, we'll see. Cherie Lee says, should we give up hope for Bad Boys 3? Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. You know, never say never, but I don't know if that one's going to happen. Crystal Renee Jones said, what movies am I looking forward to seeing this year? Right now, A Wrinkle in Time. That should be really cool. April C. Washington says, which products... Do any of y'all want to join the video chat tonight? I'd hate to do all the talking myself. Oh, and just FYI, we won't be doing one of these next week. I'll be in LA, and I just can't make it work. So, April said, what products do I use in my hair? Well, today, I washed my hair in the shower and let it dry. So that's what this is. Like, I don't use anything in it. Every now and then, like, because I had to train myself not to wash my hair every day. Because it wasn't growing, it was making it break off and stuff. And my mother, who's a cosmetology teacher, had been telling me to not wash my hair every day. But I was stubborn. I'm a Taurus. So I wouldn't listen. And then I stopped. So the days that I don't wash my hair, sometimes I might use a little bit of a pomade, and I use the sponge to make it curl up after I'm asleep or something. But otherwise, this is just shampoo and conditioner. It's really soft, as you can see. Curls up. I'm doing this because people... Oh, did I tell... Well, for the people who are new here, did I ever tell y'all... well, if you're new, then I didn't tell y'all. But I told the people, the regulars here, you know, Candy Burris from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, longtime friend of mine. I was in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, for the opening of the National Civil Rights Museum there. And her and her manager, Jawn, came over to touch my hair, and they were like, "Oh, it is yours." I said, "What do you mean it is mine?" They thought I had one of them pieces. Y'all see them pieces on Instagram? People gluing their hair on, but this is me, look. It's all me. It's my scalp, my curls, it's all my hair. Ain't got no glued on hair. It's mine. I grew this sucker. Hopefully it'll stay. I might hold on to this little afro till I'm like 90, like Don King. Am I following Shonda Rhimes' last season of Scandal? Yes, I am. I'm not as dedicated to this final season of Scandal, but I'm into it just because it's the last season of Scandal. If Scandal was going on beyond this season, I probably would have not watched this season because last season just didn't compel me much. But I'm excited about the crossover episode with How to Get Away with Murder, because that's the show that I'm obsessed with. Do I think the historic moment with Black Panther will translate into something significant in Black Hollywood? I mean, I hope so. I mean, it's very good to be a person of color right now in Hollywood in general, and I'm hoping that Black Panther elevates it even more. Yvette, oh, you were waving. Okay. Toya Brown from Nashville, thanks for being here tonight. Jaconda Jefferson, definitely watch this from the beginning to get comments on the LeBron James scenario. Arnetta Session says, have I been following the Queen's Court? No, I just learned what it was about a week ago. But that's not a show that I follow. Grace Breon McIntosh says, am I married? Nope. Happily single. I'm like Oprah. I'll probably never get married. What are your thoughts on folks saying Black Panther did not depict the best story for us, especially the Michael B. Jordan role? I've not seen any. That's from Tahira King. I've not seen anybody say that. And if they did, I would ignore them because there's no reason for that. So, Lucretia Burgess says, have I watched the 911 show? I have not yet. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't watched. Howard Simpson is late because we talked about Sade earlier, but he just found out that the soundtrack for A Wrinkle in Time soundtrack will have Sade's first new music in about 10 years. Yeah, we had a whole conversation about how that's music for depressed people. All right, so a lot of y'all are getting here late asking the same questions we talked about earlier. Hassan James, no, Oprah and Stedman are not married. Michelle Woods, good question. Would you like to see Black Panther as a weekly TV series? I wouldn't watch Black Panther as a weekly TV series, but I enjoy seeing it as a movie. But I'm not the usual comic book sci-fi demographic. So there's an audience for that. I mean, they have, was it Black Lightning on the CW network? I'm not into it. Just haven't taken the time to get into it. But people like it. So Marcella Jones says she would love to hear the national anthem reggae style, calling Eddie Murphy. Monica Miller says, what about Tony Braxton and Birdman? Thoughts? People love who they love. I wish them all the best. All right. Nobody wants to join video chat today. Nobody waved their hand and said they would join in on the conversation. So, I appreciate you guys hanging out with a brother. Remember, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be in LA. Yeah. So I'll miss you guys next week. But in 2 weeks, we'll do this all again. Appreciate y'all.